look at the funk.
Would you stop playing with that radio of yours? I'm trying to get to sleep. Would you stop playing with that radio of yours? I'm trying to get to sleep. Would you stop? Would you stop? I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to get to.
This is most disturbing. Let's look at the funk.
Would you stop playing with that radio of yours? Would you stop playing with that radio of yours? I'm trying to get to sleep. I'm trying to get to sleep. Playing with that.
Oh. There we go. Hello, everyone, on this lovely morning of January the 1st, 2026. Happy New Year again for anyone who missed it yesterday, where we finished Absalom twice, 2 times before the new year. It was a good time. And yeah, we're going to have more good times today as we wrap up 2025 by ranking all of the games that I played this last year. This is going to be a bit more of a low-key affair this year. I did a bit more preparation other years where I had like other lists where I do like top soundtracks of the year, most frustrating games, best waifus, all that stuff. This year we're only doing the tier list. I did a little bit less preparation this time because I'd like to keep this shorter than usual. It often takes me like 3-4 hours to do the year-end wrap-up. We want to keep this nice and short-ish today, under a couple hours, so that we have lots of time for Trails in the Sky SC, which I am hoping to finish today, but we got a massive final dungeon ahead of us, so got kicked out of a Bill Bull stream for spoilers. Well, I hope you've taken the time to reflect on what you did. I tell you what, you do any spoilers in here, you're gone. You're out. There'll be none of that here today. I don't want to be spoiled for nothing. I don't even want to be spoiled on the games on my tier list. I played all these games. These are like games I've beaten, and I still don't want to be spoiled on them. He was playing Xanadu. I was just saying shit that wasn't true. Yeah, but you kind of have to be free to like say shit that isn't true. Like while you're figuring things out. Like I'm sure I got a bunch of the mechanics of Xanadu wrong when I was playing it. Like I'm sure I was saying stuff during my streams that I thought I had figured out that ended up not being right. But like I don't want to be told that I'm wrong. I want to like find out that I'm wrong, you know? That's like... So that can make for some really cool moments when you like find out that something you thought was true is like completely not what you thought it was. So yeah, fuck you. Stop ruining Xanadu for people. I'm sorry. Oh, it's not a place for you. I'm sorry. Everyone needs to find a place where they belong. So I'm sorry that couldn't be Bill Bull's stream for you. Hopefully we'll just have a good time here, though. So yeah, hey Zap, hey Troops, hey Deep Fry, hey Tiga. Yep, you all belong. You all belong. Wasn't so much him figuring things out, just sitting misnomers. Yeah, that's fair, I guess. I mean, you always gotta be careful arguing with streamers. Like, you know, people have their shit that they think and they like to say, and you kind of challenge that at your own peril. Especially when, like, talking to someone who controls the space that you're in. You literally need a guide to play Xanadu. Now, I was gonna go ahead and say, oh, no, you don't. I did it without a guide, but I totally did use a guide. I totally did use a guide to figure out the mechanics. Although, according to the guide said that, like, the sections I used only, like, said things that were in the manual. Supposedly, the section of the guide that I used was just, like, a summary and translation of stuff that was in the manual. Anyways, we're not going to talk about Xanadu. I mean, we will talk about Xanadu, but we'll have a lot more to say about Xanadu later on when we get to the tier list. So let's go ahead and do that. This is my tier list. Actually, let's go ahead and put on some jazz too. I didn't have time to make like a soundtrack for the year-end wrap-up either. So, yeah, we're just gonna chill. Yeah, chill with some VG Jazz while we rank our games of 2025. Also, since I got the playlist going, let's go ahead and throw up the song display. Yes, the S is blue. That's to make it, like, stand out from, like, the other letters. Like, the other's, like, kind of a gradient from, like, green to orange. We got like traffic lights here. There's no red. We don't play bad games on this channel. Like there's no F tier. I mean, maybe there should be. I felt like there wasn't much point. Like I only have so much space in the window to like stack tiers neatly. in my little, display thing up above. Like, I could have done an SS tier. I had an SS tier last year, and there were only like 2 games in it. I probably could have separated my games into like an SS tier and an F tier. But I think there would only be like 2 games in SS tier and like 1 game in F tier. So we're just, and yeah, this is a 5-point scale. This means it'll line up nicely with my 5-star rating scale. I think Castlevania 64 was last year. Yeah, I remember we did CV64 on last year's roundup. That was October last year, 2024. October 2024, I think, is when we did Castlevania 64. I think I put it in D tier. I think that was in D tier from that year. So here's how we're gonna do it. Yeah, in past years I've organized the games by the order we played them, but I didn't do that this time. They're just in the crazy order, the random shuffle order that tier list maker gave me when I put the images in. But what I did do is I moved all of the top 10 to the top, and we're going to do the top 10 games first. We're going to keep to the tradition. I'm not going to make you guys wait to hear the top picks of the year. We're going to get the good stuff out of the way first. And my top 10 is actually going to be more of a top 12, because the number 10 slot was really, really hard to lock down. We're going to count down from 10 to 1. Which is really 12 to 1, because I had to do some soul searching to decide what game was going to be my number 10. I guess maybe to get an honorable mention out there. Factorio did not make the list this year, just because I don't think I played enough of that game to have a really solid opinion of it. I mean, I played that game for 30 hours. Like, I've done like 2 or 3 binge sessions of Factorio, and I love that game. But it still feels like I've barely scratched the surface of it. Like, I'm still learning so much about it. I still have experienced barely a fraction of what Factorio has to offer. So I feel like I haven't done enough Factorio for it to be properly considered for the list. If I did put it in here based on how much I've been liking Factorio so far, it would easily be in my top 10. Probably like number 2 or 3, maybe even 1 if I played it a bit more. And that would have solved my number 10 dilemma really nicely, because then all 3 contenders could just be kicked out of the list. But I decided that wasn't fair. We haven't really properly and fully experienced Factorio just yet. Might be a 2026 game. But yeah, for now, we're going to start things off with the number 10 slot. There were 3 games in contention for number 10 on my top 10 games of 2025. All 3 of them RPGs. All 3 of them, I think, have a lot of highs, are like very, very good games in their own rights, but also deeply flawed in different ways. Except for one of them, maybe. I'm going to go with the least flawed of the bunch first. Ni no Kuni 2 was in contention for the top 10, but did not make it in the end. Ni no Kuni 2 just barely falls out of my top 10. Still makes it into A tier. I actually feel like this game doesn't really have any serious flaws. It's just a good and solid action RPG with fun, basic, shallow combat, appealing characters, really nice, crisp, cartoony graphics.
The game.
A really kind of silly, whimsical fairy tale story world with kind of a dumb plot that I don't care about. Although some weird moments of darkness, like right at the end, like the stuff with what's his name, Roland's son, making the Zalgo face in the flashback near the end, was like some crazy stuff. It's also got like kingdom builder elements to it. Oh, and yeah, we still got to get around to Ni no Kuni 1 too. There was a lot of good stuff in this game, but I just felt like it's quite like, it actually has some of the same flaws as the other games I'm about to talk about. Like, it's kind of like massive and bloated, and there's a lot of filler, but that's like kind of the good parts of this game also. Like, that's kind of the nice thing about it, is it's a game you can just kind of chill out and vibe with, doing like just mindless grinding, mindless military battles where you just clash chibis into each other to make numbers go up, mindless castle town building. Like, it's very much like a kind of just a chill, nice, vibey, numbers go up kind of game with not a lot else to kind of elevate the material higher. Like I like the characters on a basic shallow level. The story's fine on a basic shallow level. There wasn't anything in this game that really amazed me. There weren't any of those like wow moments that we're gonna see with a couple of the other games I'm about to talk about. It was just kind of like a nice, fun game to chill out and relax to all the way through, and I liked it. So Ni no Kuni 2 comes in, I guess, on my number 12 spot. I don't know. Maybe it's number 11. One other game, which just barely falls out of the top 10, and actually I think, I don't know, do I have to justify this? It's a game that we're gonna play a bit later today. It's the one that I actually haven't technically finished yet, but we're like 95% of the way there. Yeah, drum roll please. Trails in the Sky also just falls out of the top 10. This is a game I struggled with a bit because like there's so much stuff in it that's like kind of crap. Like again, it's like all the like time wasting filler, like kind of so mindless combat, a lot of like bloated side quests and like story filler that like drags out the game. In a lot of ways, it's kind of just like your bog standard JRPG of the mid 2000s, and yet the good stuff is so good. Like these are games that I think the characters and the story and especially the writing like really carry you through it and get you really deeply involved in these games, which is like how I was like once we finished Trails in the Sky 1, I immediately had to dive into Trails SC to find out what happens next. And you know, like it's not like it's all bad. Like there's some interesting, like the gameplay systems in this game are really interesting and engaging. I like the orbment system, the magic system, the way the characters are all diversified with their different crafts and abilities. Like there's some good stuff here. The thing that really lets down the gameplay is the combat balancing. There's just no good difficulty to play these games on. Like either you play on hard and everything's totally imbalanced and physical attacks are useless and you can't get anywhere except by spamming spells all day, and that's hard mode, or you just play on normal mode and like it's just kind of a cakewalk. You just kind of sleepwalk through the battles in both games. But I think it's really the characters, really, like not just the main two, like Joshua and Estelle and their relationship and their story is kind of like the hook that's pulling me through these games. But like all of the side cast is so good too, and not just the playable characters and like the story characters, also the NPCs. There's such rich and wonderful world building in these games, and it does something I see so rarely in JRPGs, and having like really rewarding and meaningful NPC dialogue in towns. Like these are games where it's really, I mean, it's not always worth it. You can kind of waste your time talking to all the NPCs in every town at every story juncture, and they have a lot to say. Like every time anything happens in the story, all the townspeople's dialogue gets updated, and like you kind of see them go through their own little like personal dramas. They have their own little side stories that you can track over the course of the games, and like you're kind of rewarded sometimes for paying attention to that. You kind of come across like some amusing, fun little stories if you keep track of like the T sisters in Grancel, or like how's the casino going in Ruan, and then sometimes those characters pop up in side stories too, like side quests. And then you do the side quests, and it's like you meet those characters in the second game. It's like, oh, hey, I remember you. You were the guy who was like run for mayor 3 chapters ago or whatever. I solved a fake murder mystery, shitty side quest with you in it. Like it's a game that's really rewards that level of like the player, rewards the player's attention. Like if you dive into it and get really invested, like it'll pay back to some degree. I just wish the core gameplay were a lot stronger. Also, I really struggled with like how to handle the Trails in the Sky SC thing. I originally thought I was gonna rank them as one game, but then I thought, like, do I really think these belong in A tier? Because like there's so many like middling bits of these games. Like so much of the core game is like kind of a slog to get through. Does it really belong in as like an A tier RPG alongside like my favorite Final Fantasies? And I think the solution I came up with to this is I'm gonna go ahead and put SC into B tier. I like SC. It's a fine game. I like it a lot. And Yanni, thank you so much for the Prime resub. Glad you could make it. I like SC a lot less than Trails in the Sky FC. I like it well enough, and like you have to play it. It's the conclusion to the story, so it is what it is. And yes, I was just gonna say, like, we haven't technically finished it yet. Like, maybe the ending is gonna be absolutely spectacular and enough to bring it back to the heights of Trails 1. In fact, Trails 1 had a great ending. It was the end. In fact, I would probably put Trails down here. I would probably put Trails FC down here. But like if I were to rank it based on where we're at in SC right now, if I were to rate Trails FC based on like me having only played up to the beginning of the final chapter, I would probably also put that game in B tier if I hadn't experienced the ending yet, because the ending was so good. It was such a brilliant hook into the second game. But based on what we've seen so far, there is a lot of bloat in SC. There was a lot of long stretches where I was quite bored throughout the middle part of SC, which I really didn't get from FC. And again, a lot of that was in FC. Like, the ending kind of brought a lot of stuff together, like that final story arc with the intelligence division coup, like really brought together all the story threads they had kind of left dangling from all the other chapters. So maybe they'll do that again with SC. But I don't know. I don't remember ever having that sense of like boredom in the first game that I've gotten with the second one. I had to turn the camera off because you pussy. Not manly enough to cry on camera. We'll see. I've gotten like borderline teary on camera. I don't really cry at video games or for like really anything. I don't know if it's like a physiological thing. Like, I didn't cry at my grandfather's funeral, and I loved my grandfather. That's fair. Like, the thing is, like, I'm not gonna put it on next year's list. Like, I'm not gonna do like FC this year and SC next year. Like, I'm not gonna remember. We'll just rank them as one, and like, it's a simple fix. If I end up loving the ending, we'll just be like, oh, okay, SC goes into A tier. Like, it's a simple fix. We're not putting too much effort into this. So the real number 10 pick, my for real number 10, not a runner-up, is the one that I really was trying to not have in my top 10, just for fun and laughs. I thought it'd be really funny with how much of like a cult following this game has if it didn't actually make my top 10, for how much hype has been all over the internet for this game for years. And again, a lot of the same issues as Trails in the Sky. A lot of bloat, a lot of unfun times, massive amounts of bloat, massive, tremendous amounts of bloat in this game. Like, I haven't even experienced like I've barely experienced a third of what this game has to offer. And I kind of feel like I've had enough of it. I don't know if I want to play this game again, but the bits that I played were good enough. I enjoyed it for long enough that I think Fire Emblem Three Houses does deserve the number 10 spot on my top 10 games of the year. Again, like, there's a lot of stuff I didn't like about these games. I could go on and on about like the complaints I had with just like all the just slogging through the downtime and the fragmented story, where you have to play through like 300 hours of story content to get the actual full picture of what's going on, and even then it maybe doesn't make sense. But it's really good. Three Houses is a really, really good game with a lot of high points. A lot of depth to the character building. A lot of the depth to the characters. There's not going to be... Hey there, Vasil. Glad you can make it. There's not going to be a waifu list this year. I did a little bit less preparation for this year's top 10. Partly because, like, I want this to be a shorter tier list. I want to wrap things up so that we can move on to finishing SC, so that we have lots of time for that. I mean, I thought a little bit about waifus. I can just tell you. Like, I would have picked Estelle from Trails in the Sky, because she's the emotional like heart and soul of these games, I think, and she's just a delight to spend time with all the way through. Lysithea would be my waifu pick for Fire Emblem Three Houses. I love all of her support conversations. I just find her like combination of like childishness and snootiness, like really just endearing and entertaining, and dare I say cute. And yet also she's got like a fair bit of depth as well, and she's like fun to use as a party member too. She's like one of our star players on the team. Just like nuking dudes. She's like one of the few characters that can one shot consistently on Maddening. So that was a lot of fun. Although, like I was about to say, there's so much depth with how you can build your characters. Like you can kind of build anyone into like an unstoppable killing machine in Three Houses. I feel like if you know what you're doing with the skill systems, if you really dig in to like what ranks you need to get for what skills and how to pair them up with like the right battalions. That's actually, there's like a few good, like really really good things about this game. One is the characters. Again, really stellar cast of characters. I like almost all of them. Lots and lots of people to like here. Edelgard was a lot of fun, and her squad of like the gloomy goth crew of what's it called, the church school, wherever they're at. Me, when I build my entire I didn't build my entire playthrough around anyone. It just kind of happened, like, you know. It's just like we're stuck in a sticky situation. I got to kill this guy before he kills us. Who can do it? Lysithea is the only one. Like, that's it. Like, that's it. We just use her to do like the one thing she can do that nobody else can. Like, it's not even like favoring Lysithea. It's just like, oh, she's the character who happens to be the one character that does what we need in this situation. Oh well. Okay, I'll check this out quickly after I'm done talking about Three Houses. But yeah, it's interesting how much like the downtime stuff, like the monastery segments and like chatting up all your students and feeding them lasagna and going fishing. Actually, fishing sucks. Fishing is like the shittiest part of the monastery. But like there's so much like what seems like boring filler crap that you do around the monastery, but that actually ends up being kind of interesting. Like the choices you make with your free time activities like determine a lot for how your army is going to end up. Like what skills and classes are you working towards? How are you going to distribute your gear and battalions and everything? So actually the boring stuff, the monastery activity stuff, actually ends up being like pretty interesting. Actually, almost the most interesting stuff in the game. The map design is almost a weakness. Actually, like actual combat is fun. Like seeing all the strategies that you spent hours and hours planning in the monastery segments and seeing them come to fruition on the battlefield is really rewarding. Even if I think the game's map design is like maybe spotty at best. Like, especially on Maddening mode, they kind of just throw up like giant bricks of stats at you and just like, here, push through this with whatever you got. And like there's, you know, a lot of versatility with the character buildings. There's a lot of ways to build your army to get through these stat blocks that the game throws at you. But it kind of felt like a lot of the time, like it doesn't. And then the game throws you in like a few interesting situations with the like monster ambushes and that kind of thing. But a lot of the time, those are like the most frustrating and like badly thought out. Like the ambush spawns kind of ruined Maddening mode for me. I had a horrible time with Maddening mode to the point that I didn't even finish it because of the ambush spawns. Like they kind of use the turn wheel system as a like kind of a crutch for all that shit. It's like, oh, that's fine. You just need to not use turn wheel enough times so that you can eat all of your rewinds on ambush spawns. But yeah, I don't know. The map design kind of felt spotty and lazy. There were a few moments of brilliance. There were like a few really fantastic maps, but it was mostly like kind of meh to not very good on the combat maps. But I think the characters, support conversations, all the different systems around building and customizing your students. It's a great package. It's a very super ambitious game, and I always appreciate that in video games. So Three Houses makes the number 10. We're like, yeah, half an hour in, and we've just done number 10. We've done the first game on the list, which was actually 3 games. So now we're breaking into the easy part of the list. These are the games that I actually didn't have to think too much about. as far as whether I wanted to put them on the list or not. I just like went through all the games I played this year, and I went like, oh, which games are definitely on the list? And I picked out these 9 games, and it's like, oh, cool. Now I just gotta find number 10. So first up from the easy top 10 portion of the list, this is a game we played yesterday, is Absalom at number 9. This is the like roguelite RPG brawler hybrid from the creators of Streets of Rage 4. It's topping a lot of like Game of the Year lists from a lot of like YouTubers I watch. I think John Lineman actually had this as his number 1, and like I see why. I like it a lot. Again, there's like lots of negative stuff I could say about this game. It's exceptionally well done. Like the graphics are fantastic, voice acting, the story and like the original world they built for this game are all great. The brawling mechanics are fantastic. The roguelite stuff is really cool. Like I feel like I don't even need to talk about the roguelite stuff. It's the same stuff that's good about any roguelite, like the like ability synergies, the crazy elemental combos, and just like splattering shit all over the screen so that you can't even see where your character is. That's like the fun of roguelites. Like that's the kind of experience you get from like a Vampire Survivors or Risk of Rain. And so like this game does that easy. This game has that, but then is also a real video game underneath all of that too. Like it actually has like good brawler mechanics. Like really, really solid. Again, like on the tier of like Streets of Rage 4. And I kind of think that all of the roguelite stuff actually detracts from the game a bit instead of enhancing it. I really wish that this were more of just a traditional arcade style brawler instead of like grafting on all of the like the skill spreadsheet numbers go up crap. But I think there's enough other good stuff in this game that like it's good. It's really good. I really like the variety on each run. It actually kind of reminds me a lot of, first of all, Dragon's Crown. Just with like the way the game's kind of a hybrid of an RPG and a brawler, and with lots of different ways to like build your characters and select your skills and stuff, which is always fun. And then it also kind of reminds me of like a Mystery Dungeon style game where you'll go on like different like side quest tracks depending on the route you take through the game each time, and then like, you know, these side stories develop and gives you some kind of permanent reward for future runs. And I always thought that was really cool. Like there's something new to see every time you run through the game until you've seen all of the things and beaten the game, and then there's not much else to do. I think what Absalom is really lacking right now is like a proper like end game or post game. I feel like this game gets really, really easy really quickly once you get towards the bottom of the upgrade tree. Once you've unlocked that second life, I found that I could win pretty consistently once I like unlocked 2 lives. So I kind of feel like the game doesn't put up enough resistance. Like your character will get stronger faster than the game will get harder, and there needs to be some kind of like additional end game or post game, which they will probably add at some point. I think they've already announced a free patch on the way sometime this year. And I think that's what this game needs, is just more content, which is usually the way that all these roguelites go. It's like you do all the things, then you run out of things to do, and then they add more things. And then, yeah, like that's what Vampire Survivors has been for like the last however many years. And yeah, that's Absalom. Solid game. I like it a lot. We managed to get a Metroidvania on the list this year. This is also bugging me out because like I've got 5 games on the list right now. So like what number are we on? This is number 8. We got five games in the top 10. Next up is the number 8. How much did this game cost? Absalom, I think it was like $30 or $40 on Steam. I got it from a like third-party key reseller. I picked it up on Fanatical for I think $25. I think it was $25 on sale from Fanatical for me. That might have been American dollars, but I don't know. I'd have to look up the price. Oh, I was going to check out... whoops. Wrong thing. I was going to check out Vasil's clip. If I can figure out how web links work. Oh, this is this that noise? Or no, that was Bernie. That was the Bernie noise. What was this? Oh, shit. I forgot about this. Yeah, Lysithea for #1 waifu of the year. Absolutely. Thanks for that reminder, Basil, for why Lysithea is #1 in our hearts. Yeah, there's so much great stuff like that. Yeah, and also for reminding me why Three Houses managed to make the list. There's so much fun stuff like that in the character scenes. Right, so we're on number 8 now. And yeah, like I was about to say, we got a Metroidvania on the list this year. I think this was just about the only new Metroidvania that I played. Oh, hey there, yeah, Squaresoft Golden Era JRPGs. Yeah, I like to have that there so that, like, I don't, you know, it's to save me time so that I don't have people asking me, like, oh, what's this song? What's this song? Like, you can just see it there. And, you know, hopefully the track title's in English. I think that one was. Right, Metroidvania. Pampus and Celine. Pampus and Celine I have on here at number 8. Specifically, I actually played the MSX version of Pampus and Celine. There's a version you can get on Steam. That's very good. Like, I recommend the Steam version. But for like some additional fun, I decided to go ahead and buy the MSX ROM from the developer, which I think actually has slightly better aesthetics than the Steam version. Like, I like the sprite art and the minimalist UI, and especially the music of the MSX version a lot more on the Steam version. Oh yeah, you know what? Sorry, I forgot. I forgot about Silksong. Never mind. Silksong's on here too. See, when I think Metroidvania, I think more retro style. There's so few Metroidvanias that aren't like pixel art. So when I said Metroidvania in my head, I meant like retro pixel art style Metroidvania. But yeah, you're right. I was wrong about Metroidvanias not being represented on this list. But anyways, that's a story for later. Yeah, so the reason this has the Konami logo is because this game is actually, I believe, an official sequel to Maze of Gallius, which was like one of the earliest like kind of Metroidvanias for the MSX back in the day, which was obviously the inspiration for this game. And this game is essentially an improved and perfected version of that, I think. Like, it's definitely modernized a bit. Like, this game isn't nearly as like brutal or obtuse as Maze of Gallius, but it has some trickery to it. Like, there's actually a fair bit of that old school. What did you miss? Yeah, Lysithea, waifu of the year. Actually, that might not be true. She might be like my number 2 or number 3. I didn't actually consider the waifu list very strongly. I'll just bring them up as we go through the top 10. But yeah, there's lots of good stuff in Pampus and Celine. Again, it has kind of like that old school like trickery to it, where there's like some puzzles with strange solutions, like secrets littered everywhere on the map, leading to weird upgrades that do have effect like varying degrees of usefulness. There's like some really weird micro upgrades where it's like, oh, you're immune to fireballs from fishmen or something like that. Like items that have extremely narrow situational usage. But then there's like so many items. There's so many secrets in this game, which is one thing I appreciate that they kept from Maze of Gallius. Is there's just like dozens and dozens of items and stuff to find absolutely everywhere. And the map is so open. Like, you can explore so much of the map right, not quite from the get-go. You're kind of boxed in at the very start of the game. But then after the first couple upgrades, you can like branch out and go just about anywhere pretty quickly. And the boss fights were really good too. Really solid boss design, really solid map design, devious secret placement, really cool character switching mechanic, where actually the characters are like quite different from each other. You got Pampus with like the rapid fire melee sword attack, Celine with the kind of longer range, slower lightning bolt, but then they get like more diversified from there, where they like you get more upgrades for each character, and then like, I think it's Celine has the floaty jump and Pampus has the double jump, I think, and one of them gets the shield, and they get different sub-weapons, and so, like, they become quite different as you go through the game and get more upgrades. And they're both, like, very, very useful at different points in the game. Like, some bosses are, like, much easier with one character than with the other. It's like you find a lot of uses for both characters throughout the game. It's not like, oh, Pampus is the man, so you're just going to use him all the time. That's what the original game was like. The original Maze of Gallius was like, oh, it's the Pampus, or not Pampus. What's the original guy's name? I forget. It's Popolon and Aphrodite, and Aphrodite was mostly useless in that game. Not like Pampus and Celine. Pampus and Celine had great character balance, great boss design, great map design. Tons of cool secrets everywhere. It's an A-tier Metroidvania. Easy number 8 on my list. Coolest we're making. Yeah, we got a lot to go through, actually. So actually, to get a sense of, like, the scale of the undertaking here, I think I have 32 games to rank here. I played 32 new games this year. Oh, and yeah, have a good day, Deep Fry. Glad you could drop by and say hello. So that was number 8. Yeah, 10, 9, 8. So we're on to number 7 now. Number 7. Oh yeah, we're getting like legitimate retro. Is this the first like real retro game on the list here? I think this is the first game on the list that was made before like 2005. Yeah, next up we're going back to the PS2 days. 3D platformer. Ape Escape 3 in the A tier at number 7 on the list. Hey there, Roldy. Happy New Year to you too. Yeah, Kanpai. Is it 2026 in Japan already? I think the Japanese are way, way ahead of us on that front, as they are in so many other things. Oh yeah, so number 10 was a big clusterfuck between Trails in the Sky, Ni no Kuni 2, and Fire Emblem Three Houses. Three Houses won that scrap. Three Houses is my number 10. Ni no Kuni at number 11, and Trails in the Sky at number 12. Then Absalom, number 9, and Pampus and Celine, number 8. And now we got Ape Escape 3 at number 7. This game was just a delight. Like, there's so many things that just made me laugh. Like, it's a funny game. There are so few games out there that are, like, truly, like, funny. I'd almost rank this as, like, a comedy game. Like, it's seeing the ape antics is just, like, so amusing. Like, this is a game where, yeah, the Ape Escape series, a series of games where you use various tools to hunt down and capture those damned dirty apes that are up to mischief. Running amok, making a mess of the town, and you gotta snatch them up with your net and use other tools to kind of knock them out and pacify them. But it's not like it's just like, that sounds like maybe kind of tedious, like, oh, you're just catching a bunch of monkeys, but like every single monkey, like almost every single monkey has like some unique quirk to them, where they're like in a unique costume, or they're doing like some unique behavior. You got like monkeys in mechs, monkeys dressed up as princes, monkeys that are getting married, monkeys on hang gliders. It's like almost every enemy in this game is like some unique, like doing some unique thing that you don't see anywhere else in the game. And like so much of it is just funny. Like this one has a like a TV studio theme to it, where you're going through like different themed areas of a TV studio. So you've got like the I guess a Hollywood lot. So you have like the Western land and the sci-fi space land. And it's like different genres, like different TV and movie genres is kind of the theming of the levels in this one. And the idea is that the apes have like taken over the TV network, so they're like making their own ape shows, trying to, I guess, mind control the world or something. And so you get like a bunch of funny scenes, like movie parodies with the apes and such. Anyways, back to the gameplay. The gadgets you get in this game are like so cool and unique. It's quite unlike like any other moveset I've seen in another 3D platformer. You got like the hula hoop that lets you run around at high speeds and like bounce around almost bumper car style off of things. You got like the RC car that you can almost use as like a guided missile launcher to knock out apes. And like they all have make really good use of the dual analog sticks, which is kind of the signature of the series. Is using the right stick to manipulate your different tools. And so like there's almost like a puzzly aspect to some of the levels where you're trying to figure out, well, what tool do I need to get that ape over there? And then apart from that, the game just looks fantastic. It kind of reminds me of the visual style of like Mega Man Legends, with like the like very cartoonishly proportioned but also highly expressive character models. It just looks fantastic. I think it might actually be one of the best looking PS2 games. Oh, where did I get the tier list creator? I did have to get the icons myself. I found the images mostly on GameFAQs. GameFAQs actually has a pretty robust collection of video game box art that's mostly high resolution. And the tier list creator is this one. Yeah, this is the tier list maker that I'm using. I'm just capturing my browser window to do this. That's the whole show. Like I said, didn't put a whole lot of effort into this. Oh, okay, so yeah, and that was the plot of Ape Escape 3, using the lethargy laser to make all the humans lethargic so that they wouldn't stop the monkeys. That's what it was. Wait, isn't that basically the plot of, like, Batman Forever? Or no, they were, like, sucking up people's brainwaves or something to make the Riddler super smart. That was that movie. Dark Cloud was last year. Yeah, I remember. Dark Cloud was on last year's tier list. Anyways, do I have anything else? Oh yeah, so the other thing that surprised me about Ape Escape 3 is like how robustly featured it is. Like, it doesn't have a huge number of levels. It has enough levels, but like the main game's relatively short, and then they have you go through it again to catch up, like catch more monkeys. It's like, oh, do the levels again, but now there's more monkeys in them, which sounded like kind of a bad time the first time I heard it. It's like, oh, this is just blatant filler here. But the second time through the game, you have all your tools at your disposal, so you can actually open up like new portions of old levels and see stuff you haven't seen before. And like it was a pretty quick romp too. Like once you only have to catch a few apes in each level. The levels are pretty well designed as far as like having a lot of shortcuts and like it being very, very easy to get from place to place in each level. Kind of reminds me of like the level design in like early 3D Mario, like Mario Sunshine and Mario 64. It's like that caliber of 3D platformer. But then after you beat the main game like a second time and get all the apes, and then you unlock arcade mode where you try to go through all the levels on one life and get all the apes, which is actually pretty fun. Like the game actually becomes like pretty intense and challenging on the arcade mode. So yeah, there's actually like a lot of content in here. It's really cool. I was actually surprised how much I liked this game. Like, I kind of figured I'd like it a lot, but I like it a whole lot. And actually, you know what's funny? Squaresoft. I haven't played any of those games. I've never played Jak and Daxter or Sly Cooper. I'd like to get around to them. I might do Sly Cooper sometime this year to, like, tide me over while I'm waiting for The Big Catch. The Big Catch is a big one I'm hyped for that I'm hoping is going to come out this year. But that game takes a lot of inspiration from Sly Cooper, which I also want to check out. Anyways, Ape Escape's on my number 7. Yeah, 10, 9, 8, 7. Next up is a game that actually was my number 7 until I played some more of it yesterday. And I think I've actually decided that Marvel Cosmic Invasion is actually a strong enough beat 'em up, like solid enough designed game that it actually beats out Ape Escape 3 by just a bit. I have such a good time playing this. It's like I was saying with Absalom. Like, oh, I wish they would make a game like this. That's just a straight up classically styled arcade brawler. That's what this is. Cosmic Invasion is like very finely tuned, I think, for arcade mode, which is why I think a lot of people don't appreciate this game. Like, it's pretty thin in the story mode. Like, you go through all the levels, you get all the achievements, you get all the unlocks, and then for most people, that's like the end of the game. It's like, oh, I beat this game in like 3 or 4 hours, 100%ed it. What a waste of time and money. But for me, that's like when the game starts. Like, once you get all that shit out of the way, then the real game starts, which is going for the arcade mode, 1cc. What's great about this game is just the character variety. You have the tag team system. Ape Escape. I'm like neglecting chat here. Oh, Shoops loves Apes too. So many cool platforms. Yeah, I read that. Competitor to 3D Mario in Japan, Ape Escape was. That's interesting. It's a shame that the studio shut down, because yeah, the guys that made Ape Escape are not around anymore, right? That was like the Sony... I forget what they were called. It was at Sony Computer Entertainment Japan? They made lots of like really well-regarded games until Sony shut them down, as I remember right. Ape Escape 3. Klonoa 2 is great. I love Klonoa 2. That's one of my favorite games. Never played any of those other ones. Absalom was made by the Streets of Rage 4 team. That is correct. But yeah, back to Cosmic Invasion. The thing I love about this game is the character variety. You have like a ton of different characters. Quite the like broad spectrum of the Marvel pantheon. Like you got like your heavy hitters, guys that everyone knows. Like you got Captain America, Spider-Man, X-Men like the Wolverine and Storm. Then you kind of have some more obscure picks, like Phyla Vel and what's his name, Blaze, the fire guy, and Rocket Raccoon. So you kind of got like an interesting mix of like A tier, everybody knows heroes, and like kind of third string, literally who's on the roster, which makes for kind of a fun mix. And all of the characters play completely differently from each other. Which is a total contrast. So this is the game from the developers that made Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge, which is a game that I liked, but I had a lot of issues with. I had problems with like the boss design and like the pacing of that game. Like there were too many levels and it was too long and it was very badly paced for arcade mode. Character variety wasn't very good and all the turtles kind of played mostly the same. And this game basically just fixes all those problems. Like this game has fantastic character variety and fantastic boss design and is very, very well paced, especially in arcade mode, which actually has a routing system where like you can choose like an A path or a B path at certain junctures in arcade mode. So it's like the story mode, you play all 16 stages, but arcade mode, you only play 12 of the 16, which kind of makes it so that like an arcade mode run doesn't take like 2 hours. Like it's, good paced for a single segment run. But yeah, it's just fun to experiment with all the different character combinations. You got like She-Hulk with like the grapples, because that's the thing. Like a game like Ninja Turtles, all the characters have the same basic moveset. You've got like a grab, a dive kick, a slide or a tackle or whatever, a jump kick. Like all these different moves that are common across all the characters, and then just with like tiny variations between each of the turtles. In this game, it's like there is no standard moveset. Like some characters have anti-air, some don't. Some characters can fly, some can't. Some characters can grab, others can't. Like each character has their own unique package of different abilities. But you get two characters that you can swap between on the fly. So you can get some interesting combinations where you do like a slow moving, like beefy grappler, like She-Hulk. You can just like grab enemies and swing them around and fling them. So you got like the Sonic Shockwave clap to stun enemies and then get in close for the grabs, and pair her up with like a kind of a flighty, like dodgy type character like Spider-Man, who's like one of the fastest characters and he can slow down enemies with his webs, go like swinging around with jump kicks that he can cancel into drop kicks, pull enemies in close with his webs for some crazy punch combos, and then like swapping between characters in the middle of a combo to like combo enemies even more. Like it's such a like just a fun, well-flowing, versatile system with the tag teams. There are like different ways to tag in your partner too, where you can have them come in like with an aerial move or run in from the side or come in with a super. There's like different types of tag team moves you can use to tag in your partner. The bosses are all really interesting and like challenging. Some of them are kind of shitty. That was kind of a problem with the Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Was a lot of shitty bosses, and there's a few of them in this game, but most of the bosses are really good. And it's super challenging too. Like if you go through and get all the achievements in story mode, you unlock different modifiers for arcade mode. So you can set arcade mode, so like the enemies move double speed, or supers cost health instead of super meter, or enemies have more health, or super meter fills 3 times faster. Like all these different modifiers. My favorite of which is to set the number of enemy spawns for higher player counts. So like you can play the game in single player, but set the enemies to spawn in as if there were 4 players, and have like just tons and tons of enemies to deal with. Screens full of enemies, possibly moving at double speed, possibly with double health. It's just like insane the stuff you can set up, and like all the different ways to modify the game to your liking in arcade mode. So like I feel like the game has a lot of longevity and replayability. Like I feel like it actually might be better on longevity and replayability than Absalom, just on account of like how challenging arcade mode is, how like many different characters there are, and how many like and how varied their play styles are, and all the different ways you can combine 2 different characters for different like interesting tag team combinations. And then like all the different modifiers for arcade mode. Like if I eventually get my 1cc on hard mode, okay, let's try to 1cc like 4-player enemy spawns, double speed enemies. Like it's so good. It's so freaking good. And playing this again yesterday just cemented that for me. I love me Marvel Cosmic Invasion. I wish this game got more recognition. And this really surprised me. Like I said, I thought that Shredder's Revenge was a bit of a disappointment for me. I wasn't sure if I really cared about this game. I wasn't sure if these developers had it in them to make like a really great, classically styled brawler to match up to something like Fight and Rage or Streets of Rage 4. But yeah, this one's up there for me. I think I like this almost as much as Streets of Rage 4. And I might even place it, honestly, if I played this more, I might even place it higher. But I don't know. I really, really like a lot of the other games on this list. Am I missing conversations here? I just get like blabbing on games. Oh yeah, we're an hour in already, and we haven't even done the top 10. I wanted to get this done in 2 hours. Oh yeah, a lot of arcade stuff can't be appreciated until you think about them more as honing a skill as opposed to just making it. That's the thing, is like so many kids nowadays think of a game as just being like getting through all the content. Like that's what people are talking about when they say that Cosmic Invasion is disappointing. It's just like, oh, I beat the story mode and got all the achievements. I exhausted all the content, so this game is done, and I finished it in a few hours. What a waste of money. Because like they have no reason to do arcade mode. It's like, oh, you don't get achievement for 1cc'ing arcade mode, so I'm just done with this game. Like it's, you know, you're playing games for like to make numbers go up, to make achievement, to like get achievements and increase that gamer score, and like not playing games for the fun of it. Like Cosmic and like Absalom is a game for like gamers who want to make numbers go up, and Cosmic Invasion is a brawler for people who like want to play games for the fun of it. Not that Absalom's not fun, but like Cosmic Invasion is pure fun. Like fun is the whole point of the exercise. It's like no, I mean there's some numbers go up, but not a lot. Like you have to level your characters to max out their HP, but once you do that, you're off to the races. And then the real game starts. Okay, we're still talking about Ape Escape. Okay, after Cosmic Invasion, the thing is, Cosmic Invasion would have to be really, really good. And it is really, really good, although not quite as good as my number. I keep losing track of the numbers. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Oh, we're up to 5, finally, up to the top half of the list, which we will kick off with Lies of P, which I can't. Cosmic Invasion wants to be in the number 5 spot, but yeah. Lies of P at number 5. This was actually my first time playing a Souls-like that wasn't a FromSoft game. So I was kind of skeptical. I was kind of skeptical that like another company could really pull off like the Souls-like magic. Like sure, it's got the atmosphere, but like does it have the like intricate web of like world building and weaved in with storytelling? Does it have like the mechanical depth and great boss encounters? Like sure, it's got the aesthetics of a good Souls-like, but does it have all that other stuff that makes Dark Souls games really good, and yeah, it really does. Lies of P really is the whole package. What really surprised me was actually like the world building and the story. This game has like a fantastic like narrative and setting and backstory all woven together in interesting ways as you like explore the setting and uncover artifacts and have like cryptic conversations with NPCs. Like they nailed that aspect of Souls games and like put it all around like actually a really compelling narrative. I really liked the story in this game. It actually has probably a stronger central story than any actual Souls games, which were more about like the atmosphere and the world building. This one has a stronger central story, and also much more. It's a much faster paced game, like much more kind of fast action based combat, which I don't like as much as the slow, deliberate pace of Souls combat. But yeah, Lies of P combat is really good for what it is. You got like a variety of defensive options, like the dodge is really powerful and useful, deflect and parry, really powerful and useful, or you can just go ham on enemies to try to stagger and posture break them. Really interesting and varied boss design. I had like a few quibbles with it. This is a game that I think I enjoyed less on subsequent replays. It's very linear compared to Souls games. Like it's basically a stage-based game. Like the areas of this game are kind of structured like mini Souls areas, but the overall structure of the game is linear. You do like chapter 1, then chapter 2, then chapter 3, and each chapter is like a mini Souls-like zone. Which is fine, like the level design is solid, but I kind of miss that freedom, that like Metroidvania like and like maze exploration aspect of traditional Souls-likes. Although I guess the linear structure kind of makes sense for what this game wants to be, which is more of like a hack and slash action bent on the Souls-like genre. Another slight letdown for me with this was the RPG elements. I feel like the stat system in this game is like totally worthless. Like you hit the soft caps for your stats so quickly. Like by the time you're halfway through the game, you basically maxed out all of your soft caps on your stats, and then the level ups just don't matter from that point forward. You have all the stats you need to do pretty much any weapon build you want, and like the character builds are just like there's lots of different ways to build your characters. Like you can go like heavy weapons, light and fast weapons, more elemental status effect based builds. But like you can do all of that out of one character. You don't need to restart the game. Like respecking is trivial because you just have all the stats you need to do everything by the time you get like halfway through your first run. Which I think harmed the game's replayability. I found that I enjoyed this one a bit less on subsequent replays. Also, I thought the difficulty... I'm like doing nothing but complaining here. The aesthetics are brilliant. I love the like the kind of steampunk clockwork aesthetic they've got going on, which is a fantastic combination with the Pinocchio story. The way they use like specific elements from the Pinocchio story, like what they do with Geppetto in this game is fantastic. I love Geppetto as a character in Lies of P. He's like maybe the high point of the game. He's such a fascinating, like just interesting dude in Lies of P. I won't spoil anything by talking about him further. What they did with the Blue Fairy was great too. Blue Fairy, another contender for the waifu list this year. I really liked the Blue Fairy. I forget what her actual name was. How did I feel about the stage structure of Demon's Souls? It's fine, but I think the open map of Dark Souls was an improvement. I like Dark Souls map design better than Demon's Souls map design. Also, I kind of wish that Lies of P, or I guess Lies of P kind of does have, yeah, you can warp wherever you want. I was going to say, I wish Lies of P did like stage select. Like, and actually the other thing I like about Demon's Souls is that you get to choose your stage, like Mega Man style. Like, it's not like Lies of P where it's just chapter 1, then chapter 2, then chapter 3. You can choose the order you want to do the stages in Demon's Souls, which I really appreciate. It kind of gives you that sense of non-linearity and openness in the stage select, which I think really helps replayability in games like this. Like, I can play a game like Dark Souls or Demon's Souls like 5 times and like take a different path through the game each time. Whereas Lies of P, you're taking the same path every time. Like there's no variance to routing in this game. and not a ton of variants to builds either. Also, I really hated the final bosses. That was the other thing, was the difficulty balancing was kind of all over the place in Lies of P. The game's like mostly not too difficult, which I like actually. Like for a fast-paced action game, I don't want it too difficult. I have poor reflexes and I have difficulty keeping track of like having a whole bunch of abilities all at once. Again, that's why I like slow, simple combat, like Dark Souls. So I kind of appreciate that the combat in Lies of P was like very deep as far as like what your character is capable of, but you don't need to like fully engage with all of that depth to make your way through the game. Like it's relatively gentle for how hardcore the mechanics are until you get to the final boss of the main game and the final boss of the DLC, which is like the hardest bosses I've ever played in my fucking life. It goes from like a 3 out of 10 on Souls-like difficulty for most of the game to like an 11 out of 10 for the final boss, and then a 12 out of 10 for the DLC boss. It's like fucking ridiculous. But all the others, honestly, it's really the story. It's really the story and setting and like the world building that really elevated Lies of P for me. I loved all that stuff, as well as loving the combat mechanics and everything. Really, really great Souls-like. Lives up to the reputation. I think I still put it in A tier. I don't think we've quite reached S tier yet. Masterfully paced. That's a good point. I think I agree with that. Yeah, none of the levels drags at all. Like, you get through the levels and encounter bosses at like exactly the rate you would want to. The story kind of escalates in tension at a good rate. Yeah, very, very good pacing in a lot of ways in Lies of P. Solid game. Wukong, I'm probably not going to play Wukong. I probably need a computer upgrade before I can play Wukong. Okay, so that's Lies of P. We're going to kick it up a notch here, breaking into the top 4. And I think this is the point where we go to S tier. I think we're going to kick it to S tier, starting with these next 4 picks. And we're going to start it off with Xenoblade Chronicles X. Oh, also, we are, like, bumping my tier list. I'm going to have to fix this. Give me 1 second. I guess I should have gone with the square icons, I guess, to save space. That's fine. We can fix this. We don't need create single tier list thing or whatever. Yeah, we can just do it like this. Still not good enough. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Okay, we can extend it. You know what? I think I might just... What are we gonna do? This is what I got so far. Maybe we just leave it like this, except C and D are gonna extend too. I did not think this through. I think we have to... Do I just extend the thing the whole way? Oh. Do I just extend the stupid thing? Well, we'll just do it like this. We'll do it like this, and then we'll fix it as we need to. Also, I'll share the image. I'll share the image of the finished tier list in the Discord later. Okay, yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles X. I think I liked this game a lot more than most people do. The general consensus that I had heard about this one, it's like, oh yeah, it does some fun stuff with the Xenoblade mechanics. The planet Mira is fun and interesting to explore. The town building is neat. You get to meet some neat aliens, but the story's a big letdown. The story's not nearly as good as Xenoblade Chronicles. I really, really liked the story in Xenoblade Chronicles X. I think it does a great job of like exploring a lot of like themes of traditional sci-fi with like transhumanism and like the next stage of human evolution and stuff. And not only that, but like humans interacting with alien species as well, and like making like kind of a alien turning your colony into kind of a hub for all these different aliens, and seeing how these different alien cultures like interact and clash with each other, which you get through like a lot of the side quests and town building stuff. So like even and like all that stuff was super fascinating. Like I was fascinating. I was surprised to see Like such like high concept science fiction stuff handled so well in a JRPG. It's kind of impossible to say what I liked so much about the story without spoiling the ending. Like pretty much everything that I like about the story is like some massive twist or another. And that's the thing. There's like so many massive twists throughout the story. Like it's such a thrill ride, starting right from like I think it's like chapter 4 is the big first giant reveal, and then it just gets like crazier and crazier from there. And that's like the stuff that people. That's just me, like, doing apologetics for the stuff people say is less good in this game. Like the stuff that's actually good, the stuff that everyone agrees is good, is fantastic. Which is like the alien planet, exploring Mira and all the like enormous different environments and like crazy like monsters and wildlife everywhere, and like going through the massive array of like side quests and like slowly building up your town, and like the way your like power level of your character escalates over the course of the game. You eventually get your mechs, and then you like power up your mechs to get like enormous insane one-shot laser cannons. Like the power scaling is like such a thrill in this game, going from like what you start with to what you end up with by the end of the game. The mechanics are kind of a mess. I don't really fully understand the stats in this game or what like half the abilities do, but that's kind of the charm of Xenoblade, is you don't really need to understand it to play it. You just kind of like hit the lights on your skill bar as they light up, and you can kind of push through just by doing that. I mean, you can strategize a little bit based on like my limited understanding of how the skills work, but yeah, it's mostly just kind of just a thrill ride. This was a really like cool, exciting game all the way through. Yeah, good, like fantastic quest design, fantastic main story, fantastic hub, good characters too. Yeah, Elma for waifu of the year probably. Elma is probably my number 1 or number 2 waifu. And again, I can't go into like the twist with her. This game has like so many awesome mind-blowing twists throughout the main story. I can't believe people say this has like a mediocre story. I got 2 drinks here. I can't decide which one to go with. Oh yeah, soundtrack of the year too. This game has like one of my favorite soundtracks of any game I've ever played. And like all of that layered on top of like the Xenoblade 1 combat system, which was already great to begin with, and they've kind of like enhanced even further for this game. I think you got a lot more interesting abilities in this game. Lots of cool like different skill packages you can put together with the class system. The Attack on Titan composer. Oh, I actually didn't know that. I think I know them as the Kill La Kill composer. That's the same person, right? I know the Kill La Kill soundtrack. Do I have anything else to say about this game? It's just great. Like, it's less of a character-driven story. I guess I'll say that. For people who like RPGs with a very strong character relationships, this game doesn't have that as much. Like, it's no Three Houses, it's no Trails in the Sky. The main characters are mostly pretty flat and uninteresting, and like most of the heart and soul of this game is the like cool alien NPCs you interact with, and with like the environment itself, and yeah, the wildlife and the scenery and everything, which was like kind of, I can see why people would be disappointed with that, because Xenoblade 1 was such a character-driven story with like some of my favorite characters in RPG history. So having that aspect of the game is like maybe a bit of a letdown, but I think like the sci-fi theming is so strong here that I don't even miss it. I don't even miss like the strong characterization of in Xenoblade 1 with all this, when you got all this other stuff to appreciate instead of that. Now, do I like it better than Xenoblade 1? No. But it's right up there. This is still right up there with some of my favorite RPGs of all time. And it like it keeps going too. There's so much stuff to do in this game. It's another one kind of like Ni no Kuni, where it's just like great to just chill and vibe to when you're just like doing side quests and building up your colony. Yeah, great game. Really, really great game. Although I guess I decided not as much as number 3. This might be a strange choice. This might be, I don't know, do people like this game as much as I do? I've seen generally positive buzz around it. Like, it's a tactical game, like tactical strategy game, which I always like. That's like my favorite genre, grid-based tactics games. It's got like cool, like insane ability synergies, customizing your team, and like having your different character skills interact with each other in neat ways to kind of solve the maps in a puzzly way. It's almost like Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle is like the perfect Jasu game. I liked this game so much. I was like, I was absurdly shocked by how much I liked this game. This might be one of like my favorite tactics games of all time. The like the skill packages in this game are just tremendous. Like it reminds me a bit of like the crazy stuff you can do with Disgaea, where you have like make lift towers and like throw guys across the map to set up like crazy like skill chains and stuff. It's like you can do that kind of thing where you have characters like bouncing off of other characters, jumping onto an enemy and then sliding into another and then shooting them in the back. Like you can do so many like cool like techniques in this game. And it's like the sense of teamwork you get is like unlike any other tactics game I've played, where it's again you're like vaulting off your other party members, buffing each other, setting up like team-based moves, or you're like not just flanking enemies, but also like linking skills together. It's so cool. The map design is so good and so varied. The way that they make use of the pipes to get to different parts of the map, and like the use of elevation and high ground as a core mechanic, and also the streamlining of like the hit system. Like this game's based on the mechanics of XCOM, the new XCOM, Enemy Unknown, which is a game I actually really disliked. It felt like XCOM felt to me like a shitty RNG fest, where you basically just line up behind cover and roll dice at the enemy until one of you falls over. Like, it felt like there wasn't a whole lot you could do that was that interesting, at least in early game XCOM. In this game, there's so much you can do, and like, it's not dice-based. It's not just roll dice at the enemy. That's like a losing strategy, because the hit system in this game is so streamlined. You either have like 50% to hit behind soft cover, 0% to hit behind hard cover, or 100% to hit if the enemy has no cover. Like, that's it. That's it. 0, 50, 100% chance to hit. That's it. But then you can actually shoot enemies that are behind hard cover and try to beat down their cover. And like, we got destructible terrain going on here too. Like the way that you interact with the levels themselves in this game, like blowing up cover and like vaulting and piping up to high ground. And you got like interesting like objectives a lot of the time too, where you're escorting toads, or I forget some of the other objectives in this game. And the enemies put up quite a fight too. There's like some of the enemies like can give you fits in this game. Like, there's so many times the game will throw you into a situation. You're like surrounded by brutes, surrounded by like these giant guys who are gonna rush up and crush you as soon as you damage them. It's like, oh my god, how do I get out of this? Then again, there's that puzzly aspect of like, wow, there's so much shit in my face. How am I gonna get out of this? But you have so many different skills and weapons at your disposal. Like, there's a solution. Like you have so many options that there's always going to be some solution if you can just like figure it out. Interesting bosses too. I wouldn't have expected like a strategy game like this to have cool, exciting bosses the way it does. But yeah, they get really, really creative with the boss and map design. This is, yeah, like my number 3 game of the year. I like it that much. It's probably, like I said, one of my favorite tactics games of all time. Valkyria Chronicles, hell yeah, I like this better than Valkyria Chronicles. Best modern SRPG? Yes. Although it's not much of an RPG. Do you really level up your characters much? This game's all about the money and like buying upgrades. Or I guess you have the skill system. That's right, you do get skill points. I guess that does make it an RPG. Okay. That's Mario plus Rabbids. Is Choops still here? Choops might want to look away for this. We're getting down to the top 2. This one was like kind of close between these two games. but not that close. Okay, so I have Xanadu, Dragon Slayer 2 Xanadu for the MSX at my number 2. And here, this is where if I had an SS tier on the list, this would be SS tier. This is probably one of my very favorite games of all time. Like, probably top 10 games of all time. The MSX2 version, maybe it was? I don't know. One of the MSXs. I don't know. It's the one where the music goes. Oh, my box art is wrong? This was the box art they gave me on Game FAQs. This was the only MSX box art on Game FAQs. So take it up with them. Take it up with them. This is the only option for MSX box art on Game FAQs. I guess to make that clear, yeah, I played the MSX1 version. So there's kind of like a trope in like science fiction you see sometimes where it's like, oh, a lot of the most advanced technology and appliances you see on Earth, those came from aliens. AI is alien. I rewatched Men in Black lately, and like they did that in that movie. It's like, oh, where do you think all these technological breakthroughs came in the last 40 years? Aliens. This game feels to me like it was made by aliens. I feel like dungeon crawl game design has not yet reached the heights of Xanadu. Like, we're still struggling to reach the game design heights that this game reached back in like 1988 or whatever the fuck it was. There's like so much going on in this game with like from like the mechanics and the way that all of the stats are like impactful. There's so many different ways to build your character and have like each stat point make a difference in how you approach the dungeon and approach combat encounters. And then like all of the different items are like super cool and versatile and useful, but also like kind of rare and like you only get so many, so you gotta, and like how you decide to use your items is so impactful. Like you get a pickaxe that can clear out a block. That's it. But where you decide to clear that block has such an impact on how you explore each dungeon floor. It's like that makes a huge difference. The ability to clear one block of the dungeon makes such a tremendous difference on how you approach each floor. That's like such an impactful decision, how to use that pickaxe or how to use that cloak or that key. And like permanent changes too. Or like sometimes temporary stuff. You can decide, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna cloak through this door. I'm gonna cloak through this door and then never go back. We're just going permanently ahead here. Like you can make decisions like that. Like the items are like just so versatile and impactful that it like changes the way you approach the entire game based on like where you decide to use these items. And that's before we even get to the design of the dungeon itself. Like all the crazy shit you see, especially on the lower floors where it's like, it's dangerous. Like it's an old school game where they're not afraid to like trick you and trap you. Like you can fall down a hole in this game and just get stuck forever. If you don't have like an item that's going to let you teleport out or fly out of that hole, like you can just be stuck there forever. You got to be careful when you're exploring the dungeon. You got to be careful like where you step, and you got to be well prepared. Which is like such a mind-melting concept, like that a video game would challenge you to be like careful and thoughtful and well prepared when exploring a dungeon. Like so few games demand those qualities of you, and yet Xanadu like demands it so much. Like it really is like a thinking man's like action RPG dungeon crawler, and yet the mechanics are so simple and comprehensible. Like as long as you read the stuff in the manual and like understand how the stats work and what the items do, like nothing's super complicated. Like there's nothing that requires like spreadsheets or mathematics or anything to figure out. It's not like the old first person dungeon crawlers or like proper roguelikes like NetHack style dungeon crawlers where you need like a fucking printout to see what all the keys on your keyboard do. Like it's just your basic action game. You move, you jump, And sometimes you open up your menu to use items. Really beat the game blind my second time. I mean, yeah. There was a lot of stuff I didn't figure out. I read about the game after we finished it. Like, it's so rewarding, too. Like, that's the thing. Like, the way that the game actually challenges you and, like, actually expects you to use your brain. Like, it's so rewarding when you actually figure it out. Like, when you actually manage to get the perfect run where, like, you don't get trapped. You use all your items in just the right way. You manage to jack up your stats enough to beat King Dragon, who's a son of a bitch. Honestly, there even are, like, some basic action elements here. Like, even combat, like, kind of keeps you on your toes. It's super basic, like, just bump combat. You just move really, really slowly, trying to dodge enemies and bump into them to the best of your ability whenever it's advantageous, and then use magic if it's not. But, like, even that, you have to take into account, like, positioning. Like, even the simple combat that it has is thought-provoking enough. Like, the way you can use treasure chests as cover, like, the order that you kill the enemies matters, and how you use treasure chests, and how, like, the different elements of your magic matter. Like, what spells you select affects how you'll approach combat, too. Or the way you gotta be, like, careful for those karma enemies. Like, you don't just kill everything in sight. You gotta pay attention to your karma, which is maybe actually not good. That might kind of be the most annoying part of the game. But, like, once you know it's there, you know to look out for it, at least. And you can always drink poison. You can just drink poison if you get karma. It's like, that's Xanadu in a nutshell. Like, you can just drink poison if you get karma. There's a solution for everything, is what I'm saying. Like, whatever mess you get yourself into, there's a solution for it. Even if you don't happen to have the solution on hand and you need to, like, plan better on your next run. Yeah, my first run ended due to karma. That's exactly how my first run ended. Like, yeah, there is no modern dungeon crawler. There is no dungeon crawler, period, that, like, does have... And, like, again, the dungeon designs, like, the way that they, throw, like, non-Euclidean dungeon designs at you with, like, really bizarre, like non-Euclidean loops and teleports. Like, it really bends your brain trying to figure out the layout of some of these dungeon floors. Like, it's trying to, like, solve the dungeon floors is super, super interesting and, like, mind-bending. I love it. Yeah, it's, like, so far ahead of its time. Like, we have not yet reached, like, the level of, like, again, just, like, space alien intelligence of game design to make a game as good, as polished as Xanadu just yet. Like, we're still trying to get there. So, like, in any other year, this would probably be my number one. But Silksong came out this year. So yeah, Xanadu unfortunately had the misfortune. I mean, I guess Xanadu came out, like, you know, 1988 or whatever, so I guess I could have played it any year since then. But I happened to play it on the same year that Silksong came out. And this is, like, maybe almost my perfect video game. It just, like, it hits just right for me in so many ways. And, like, I don't know what I can say. Like, it's better than Hollow Knight. As much as Hollow Knight was already the perfect Metroidvania for me, with just, like, the marriage of, like Tim Burton and Studio Ghibli aesthetics combined with, like, Souls-like world building and, like, cute, likable, memorable characters and interesting, yeah, lore and world building and, like, fantastic, simple, fast-paced, yet extremely challenging combat. Like, this game basically takes all the good stuff from Hollow Knight and just elevates it. We've got, like, even, like, we got, like, slightly more complex mechanics. We've got, like a more, I guess, finessed dash and sprint ability and different types of air dives and such. So we've expanded the moveset a bit. We've made the game a bit more fast-paced. They've increased the challenge level of the bosses to compensate. Like, you can do more stuff with Hornet in this game than you could do with the Hollow Knight. But the game itself is way more challenging to compensate. And you really got to master those core mechanics. And again, this is a game that challenges you. This is a game where, like, exploration is, like, dangerous and you got to be careful. And you got to, like, be like practicing your skills. Again, going back to that idea that, like, this Silksong is a skill. You have to practice to get through it. But it's so rewarding once you get to the other end of it. Again, like overcoming these bosses feels so rewarding. I really feel this game has like some of the best boss design in video game history, just about. Like it's right up there with like the Mega Man Zero series as having like some of my favorite bosses in video game history. And then on top of that, I really like Hornet in this one. She might be like my number 1 or 2 waifu of the year. Like that was kind of the thing I was unsure about. Is like, how are they going to handle like having a speaking named character in the Hollow Knight sequel? Because that was kind of the thing with Hollow Knight. The knight was like an empty vessel you could kind of self-insert into. Like he just kind of walks around and looks at stuff and doesn't say anything. He's kind of mysterious. You don't really know what he's here for or what he wants. And then that kind of plays in with the story of that game in interesting ways, finding out the true history of the knight and like what he's here for. He's like kind of a mysterious stranger type thing. Whereas with Silksong, you have Hornet, who's like a character with a name and a personality and dialogue, and it's like a totally different approach, and yet it just works because of how like good a character Hornet is. She's like kind of like stoic and standoffish, but then she's got some depth to her too. She's got an interesting history that you uncover over the course of the game. She's like kind of a no-nonsense, like takes no shit from anyone, badass type character, but with also kind of a lighter side, which you get into if you read her journal entries for the different monsters in the game. If you go through the bestiary, Hornet has her own commentary about all of the monsters in the game, and you find some interesting little lighthearted bits of writing in there too. Like the writing in this game is so good. Like the story is so good. It's like they took Hollow Knight and they like enhanced the action and added like a really compelling story with a great main character to it. Like they just like took all the good stuff from Hollow Knight and like an even more expansive world map, with even more like deviously designed like pitfalls and stuff too. Again, like it's not just the bosses in Silksong, like the world is kind of challenging to traverse as well, especially once you get into the third act. Oh man, just like the mind-blowing shit they pull on you too with like that Act 3 reveal. That was like one of my highlights, probably my number 1 moment of the year, and like maybe one of my number 1 moments in gaming history was the reveal of Act 3. I was skeptical of some things in this game, like the side quests. It's like, oh, we got like filler side quests, we got fetch quests in Hollow Knight now. Why the hell did this have to be here? Why did they add all this shit? And I'm honestly still not kind of sold on it. I still think this game would be better if they drastically cut down on the number of side quests. I guess it's kind of another thing you have to factor. Kind of like routing your side quests to do them as efficiently as possible is like kind of part of the game. Like trying to do as much as possible with as little like running around as possible. It becomes kind of an interesting little optimization puzzle. And once you learn the map pretty well, you can clear out the side quests pretty quickly. I thought that replaying this game was going to be a bit painful because it's like, oh, to unlock Act 3, I got to do all these side quests again. But you can actually go through them pretty quickly once you know the map pretty well, once you know what to prepare for. I don't know what else to say about it. It's just everything that was good about Hollow Knight, just enhanced, and with like the additional elements of a great story and great main character on top of it. And I feel like it's almost not like there's some controversy about this game. Like, is it too hard? Is it too bloated? Probably for most people, but not for me. I like my Metroidvanias to have like massive maps like loaded with secrets that are hard to find all over the place. Like I like my enormous slow-paced Metroidvanias. That's like the ideal of the genre for me. That's kind of what makes Silksong my ideal game. This is like my new favorite Metroidvania of all time. Silksong being my former favorite. So yeah, this is just a better version of like one of my favorite games of all time. So obviously it makes the list at number 1 in the imaginary SS tier that I did not put on this list. Yeah, Hollow Knight was my favorite Metroidvania before Silksong. Now Silksong is my favorite Metroidvania. If that's not what I said. So that's my top 10. That took us still like almost 2 hours to get through the top 10. 3 cheers for Newtopia. I didn't put Newtopia on this list. I can't remember if we even played it this year. I think that was last year. Oh, did I say Silk Song? Sorry. Yeah, Hollow Knight was my former favorite. Silk Song's my new favorite. That's, yeah, what I meant to say if I didn't say that. I'm going to try to go through the rest of these quickly. That was the top 10. I'm also going to tier list the rest of the games I played this year. Starting with Lily's Well. Lily's Well is a D. Actually, we'll scroll this down so that you guys can actually see this. Lily's Well is a D. There's nothing wrong with it. It's fine for what it is, which is like a creepypasta style adventure game with like a time loop, and this little girl dies in horrible ways, and it's very creepy and atmospheric and looks retro, like a King's Quest game or something. It's just not my style of game. I'm just not that into it. It seems fine for what it is. If you like these style of games, you'll probably like it, but it's not for me. Magical Quest starring Mickey Mouse goes in C tier. I don't think I have much to say about this game. It's just a very competent, enjoyable little like SNES platformer. It's got a neat kind of costume change system where you can be like Fireman Mickey or Robin Hood Mickey that has different abilities, and like figuring out like when to use those in the right way is kind of fun. But it's kind of just your bog standard SNES platformer. Good fun. Doesn't take that long to get through. These are so far all viewers' choice games, by the way. I played Lily's Well and Magical Quest starring Mickey Mouse as part of viewers' choice. Oh, so do we have the tiers here? Is this all correct? I think this is all correct. Yeah, these guys in S tier, these two in double S, if I made a double S, and all of these in A. Then Vice Project Doom also goes in C. I think I'm going to put it above Magical Quest. This is an interesting game. It's kind of a mess, but it's it's a hot mess. Like, it's a fun, hot mess. We got like a variety of different genres at play here. Like, I almost want to put it in B. Like, it's a really entertaining, like, action-packed romp. It's just like not very like well designed. Like, it's kind of easy until you get to the very end. There's not a lot of substance to it. But for the couple hours that it lasts, it's like a wildly entertaining romp through like 3 or 4 different genres and an insane, incomprehensible story and just blaring, cacophonous soundtrack that's like all over the place all the time. This was another viewer's choice game from Zap. Like, I feel this is borderline B tier for just how like insane this game is, but I don't know. It's probably not that replayable either. Like, I probably won't bother going back to Vice Project Doom. Demon Bluff goes in B. This is like a beta for a video game, so like if I like this a lot, actually. I had a lot of fun with Demon Bluff for as long as I played it. This is a card game crossed with like a social deduction game. It's basically like the game of Werewolf, where you have like cards played out in front of you in a circle that are either villagers or demons or outcasts, and your goal is to figure out which of the cards are demons. The demons are disguised as villagers. Each villager you flip gives you a clue as to like who's a demon and who's a real villager, but some of the villagers are lying. So like the villagers who are disguised as demons are lying, so anything they tell you is false. Some of the outcasts might be lying or might be telling the truth, depending on like the type of character they are. And that's the thing, like each type of character card gives you a different type of clue. Like the I'm struggling to think of examples. Like there's one that'll identify 3 characters and tell you one of these 3 is a demon, or 2 of these 3 is a demon. It tells you how many demons are among 3 characters. So it's like, oh, that's helpful. I know that 1 or 2 of these 3 characters are a demon, unless they're lying. And that's the thing, is trying to figure out who's lying and who's telling the truth and who's a demon through logical deduction. This was requested for viewer's choice, but I never actually played it on stream. I actually got addicted to this one off stream, and I kept meaning to do a stream. But I got so addicted to this, I played it so much, I kind of got tired of it. It's still in beta. This one's like still in production, and there's not a lot of content. So you kind of, that's the only reason this isn't in like A tier, is because you kind of like just get through the content in not too long. Like, there's not much to this game just yet. There needs to be like a lot more variety, more different cards, more game modes. Like, they're still working on it, but even with what little they've done so far, this is an easy B tier for me, and it'll probably be like A if they like just flesh it out a bit, just fill it in with more cards and more game modes. It seems like it's still like pretty early in development, but they got something really cool here. Grand Stream Saga. I'm like hovering on C and B with this one. This is a really interesting PS1 action RPG by Quintet, the developers of Terranigma. Honestly, is this A tier? This game had fantastic combat, but kind of repetitive dungeons. It had a fantastic combat system, but not a lot of different enemies. It's like the best action RPG combat you've ever seen on the PS1, but there's like 2 enemies in each dungeon, and the combat's like really repetitive. Yeah, that's right, the game where nobody has a face. The story's kind of like weird and interesting. It has that kind of Quintet, like somber existentialism to it.
Select a game!
Which is really interesting. Nightmare 3 Shalom! I think I played that on stream once. I think I played like the first 5 minutes of that game and couldn't figure out what to do with it, and then I quit it. Maybe we'll give that a second look. Yeah, definitely doesn't go in A tier. The interesting, it's an interesting bit of design because as repetitive as the combat can get, just fighting like the same few enemies in each dungeon, the game does incentivize you to like, first of all, those enemies are quite like robust. Like the enemies in this game, it's almost like a fighting game crossed with an action RPG. Like the enemies have a lot of moves, you have a lot of moves. Positioning is really important. Like it's a really good like fighting system. Like again, like I said, probably one of the best action RPG combat systems on the PS1. And the game has a system to really incentivize you to master fighting each enemy. Because if you manage to like beat the enemy, you basically get ranked on each combat encounter. And if you get the max rank, you get like scaling rewards. Like you get these different crystals that give you different cool rewards. As long as you can keep getting a high rank in every combat, you have to like chain like S rank victories together to really get like the full benefit of the combat encounter. So it encourages you to like really practice these same few enemies in each dungeon. Like it kind of keeps it from getting old, but you kind of need to play for rank to keep it interesting. If you just like figure out a way to just kind of hack and slash your way through the combat encounters and don't care how much damage you take or what rank you get, yeah, this game gets pretty dull and repetitive. I think low B tier makes sense. I think low B is fair for this game. Oh yeah, we also did Illusion of Gaia, which is another Quintet game. This was, I think, the one they made before Terranigma, which is my favorite Quintet game. And I think I like Illusion of Gaia almost as much. In fact, this might be my favorite story in any Quintet game. In fact, the story really elevated this one for me. There's like I mentioned, like that kind of like strange, somber existentialism of Quintet games, where it's like a merging of like Eastern and Western philosophy almost. And then this game had like moments of like real like darkness too. This game got like weirdly like dark and depressing at times too, but like in really interesting ways. This was a real surprise to me. Like just all the twists and turns. Like you never know what the story is gonna throw at you in this game. Let's make it time. I mean, this is a bit below the other ones in my A tier, but yeah, I think Illusion of Gaia deserves an A. I think it's got solid combat too. Like honestly, if I was ranking it purely based on the mechanics, it would probably be like C tier. Based on like the dungeon and combat design, this is probably a C tier game. But I think the story really elevates it. Actually, no, it's B tier. Yeah, the gameplay is B tier. It's not that bad. The gameplay is B tier. It's got like solid top-down Zelda-style combat, like reasonably okay dungeons. Like the game mechanics are a solid B, but I think the story and the characters really elevate it to an A. So that's Illusion of Gaia. What's this game called again? Zap, what was this game called? I'm gonna have to look at my list. Jung Rhythm. That's right. Jung Rhythm. This was another viewer's choice game. This one goes in D. I would probably put it in F if I had made an F tier game. I don't know. It's kind of entertaining for like the 10 minutes that it lasts. This game is essentially just a really shitty Parappa the Rapper ripoff for Sega Saturn. It's like Parappa the Rapper with like 1/100th of the charm and 1/100th of the musical quality, and like even 1/100th of the like rhythm game mechanic quality. Like just everything in this game is really bad. It's silly enough to be like kind of fun, but there's like no depth to it. The songs are all terrible. It's just kind of dumb. Just kind of a dumb, shitty ripoff of Parappa the Rapper. Although I think I did enjoy it more than Maze of Gallius. There are things I appreciate about Maze of Gallius, though. Maze of Gallius is probably the worst experience I've ever had with a video game in my life. But I appreciate what they were going for. I can appreciate the design of Maze of Gallius, and there were some good parts to it. I think I wouldn't have hated it as much. Like, this is like basically the same kind of game as Pampas and Celine, just with like a million times more aggravation. Like the controls are really shitty, and there's tons and tons of platforming on tiny platforms above lava pits that will kill you and make you replay the whole level in a game with really shitty jumping controls. And like all the secrets are turbo obtuse, and like there's tons of stuff in this game that you will never ever find without a guide, including stuff that's essential to beat the game. The boss design is like really messy and kind of just like kind of hack and slash slog your way through the bosses. Chat made this one a slog to get through too. Like honestly, the kinds of viewers we got out for Maze of Gallius also detracted from this experience pretty significantly. I got some really horrible backseating in this game, and like not even just unwanted backseating where people would like, you know, tell me puzzle solutions that I think I could have figured out myself. They would give me like misleading guidance. They would give me like hints for puzzles that sent me like in the wrong direction. They would lie to me about how other streamers beat this without using a guide when I'd like look up the VOD they're talking about, and they're totally fucking like, people lied to me about this fucking game. And like trying to gaslight me, like all the problems I was having were my fault. I got so pissed off at chat in Maze of Gallius. Like the chat experience made this game like so much worse than it was already. So maybe I'm being unfair to it because of that, but honestly, I think Maze of Gallius deserves a D tier. It wasn't just you, there was one other guy. There was like a Maze of Gallius super fan. Who was giving me like really misleading hints and specifically told me that you figured stuff out without a guide, where it's like, oh, if Choop's got this, I guess I should be able to get it. And then I go and look at your VOD, and then you fucking like look up the thing even faster than I did. That really pissed me off. That pissed me off a whole lot. I should have banned that guy. I forget his name. Anyways, that's Maze of Gallius. Moon Crystal is just another kind of good-ish NES platformer. I think this is one of those like Japan-only titles that like everyone I think used to go apeshit over because it looks so good. The animation is so smooth. It's like really high-quality NES graphics and like really cool-looking cinematics, kind of Ninja Gaiden style. And like some great artwork to go with it too, like the fantasy art, like the world they've built for Moon Crystal looks like really appealing and compelling. Like it's a game that kind of draws you in with its like artwork and supplementary materials and graphics and stuff. But the game itself is kind of just your box standard NES platformer. Like I don't know what else to say about it. It's like a bit more consistent than, I don't know, do I put it above Vice Project Doom? Vice Project Doom is like probably more fun to play through. Moon Crystal is probably more like conventionally good. I think I'll put it just below Vice. I think Vice is more interesting. Vice is more interesting, and that I think puts it just a little bit above Moon Crystal, which is a bit less creative, although maybe a bit more mechanically sound. Pipples for the MSX. This guy goes into A tier. I'll put him just above Illusion of Gaia. I liked Pipples a whole lot. It's crazy. Like, it's just a like classically styled, like kind of arcadey shoot 'em up. It's like Pac-Man combined with like a shmup, where you got like grid-based enemy movement, and then you're shooting in both directions. That's what makes it so interesting. Is like you're changing lanes. You got monsters like moving around like a Pac-Man maze, and you're jumping between lanes and shooting in both directions, which makes it so much more like interesting. There's so many more things you have to stay on top of, from the fact that you're like navigating a maze and shooting in two directions as the screen is scrolling. Again, one of those games that feels like so ahead of its time. Like there are shmups like made years after this that didn't do anything as interesting as Pipples, I don't think. And like the scoring's really compelling too, like how you use your time freezes, how you use your like bombs, and like going out of your way to collect power-ups, like trying to navigate the maze as efficiently as possible to get your score items, to get those extends. Like scoring matters in this game. You need those extends. Yeah, I really liked Pipples. I never got to the point of 1CCing it. I came close a couple times. I got like the way the game works is like it's got a weird maze-like aspect to it too, where like at the end of each stage you can choose the A path or the B path, and at some point if you pick wrong you go backwards. You actually end up in like loops around the stages where it's like you go from like 3A to 1B if you pick the wrong path. So like trying to find the right path through the maze of levels is part of the game too. And then once you get all the way to the end, you have to find your way all the way back, and then the route's different on the way back. I got like halfway through the return journey. I got the rainbow crystal or whatever at the Pond of Happiness or whatever the fuck you're trying to do in this game, and I made it halfway back home, but that's as far as I made it. I made it to like the third stage of the return journey, like the second or third last level, but that's as far as I ever got. But yeah, really like Pipples. Easy A tier. I think Rakugaki Showtime goes into A tier as well. This was another viewer's choice game. Very interesting kind of Smash Bros style party fighter game with like interesting like pick up and throw mechanics where there's like, it's like what if Smash Bros had almost only items? Like Smash Bros, but your main attacks kind of suck and you mostly just fling items at the other characters. And yet, like the different character abilities keep things like kind of interesting enough. There are guys like who can like magnetize enemies to them and like, or magnetize items to them and kind of like psychically fling them around. There are characters that actually do have powerful like melee combos, so you can kind of play like a traditional fighting game style with those characters. Like the character variety's pretty interesting. The stage variety is kind of impressive too. It's got a good ranking system that like basically sends you to harder versions of each stage the better you score on each stage, and then your rank goes down and you get bumped down to like lame-o easy mode if you keep on dying. So again, like one of those games that kind of incentivizes practice and like playing for score to unlock more and more characters. Lots of characters to unlock too, which kind of keeps the longevity and replayability going. Very unique and interesting little fighting game from Treasure. This is a Treasure game on PS1. I beat a lot of games this year. I actually beat less games than usual this year, actually. And actually, full disclosure, I did not beat Moon Crystal. I got stuck on the final stage of Moon Crystal. That game did the same thing that many NES games do, which is like the final stage and final boss is 1,000,000 times harder than the rest of the game. So I didn't actually beat Moon Crystal. I got stuck on the final boss of that one. I think I beat all these other games, though. I didn't beat Pipples, but that game is very, very hard. And I beat Rakugaki Showtime like 6 or 7 times. I think I beat Story Mode like 6 or 7 times in Rakugaki Showtime. I also didn't beat Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider 2, that is. But I gave this game enough chances, and I think I played enough of it. You know what? I'm going to put it in C. The thing about Tomb Raider is, like, I really wanted it to be a lot better. Like, it's fine. It's a decent Tomb Raider game. It just doesn't hit the heights of other Tomb Raider games. Like, this one's less about the tomb delving and puzzle solving and, like, puzzle box level design and, like, figuring out your way through the levels. This one's more about enemy ambushes and firefights to provide that sense of danger that the other games have. This one's less about traps and, like, environmental puzzles and more about just enemy ambushes all day, every day. Which is, like, fine. Like, it still has some of the good stuff that I like about other Tomb Raider games, but this one was a big letdown for me. I dropped Tomb Raider 2 pretty quickly. I think I got through, like, the first 4 or 5 levels of this game before I decided that it wasn't for me. Like, it's probably still a fine C-tier game. I'm, like, almost tempted to put it in D, just for how disappointing it was. The thing is, the other Tomb Raider games are, like, among my favorites. Like, Tomb Raider 3 and Tomb Raider 1 are, like, S-tier for me. Tomb Raider Last Revelation is, like, an A-tier game for me. So I expected a lot more from this. So it was, like, a kind of a big letdown on the stream that we played Tomb Raider 2. I think Torneko The Last Hope goes into D as well. So I only played this on stream once for viewer's choice. And I remember I said at the time, like, oh, we just did nothing but the tutorial dungeon, that we barely got this game started. Here's what I'll do. I'll play more of this off stream, get through the tutorial dungeons, and then the next time it comes up on the wheel, we'll play a real dungeon. As far as I can tell, Torneko The Last Hope, which is a mystery dungeon game for PS1, doesn't seem to have real dungeons. It's just only tutorial dungeons. I went through like 5 or 6 dungeons, and they're all just like really basic, straightforward, like tutorial level difficulty dungeons that are just longer and longer. Like, this game is really boring and easy. Like I said, I've gone through like 6 or 7 dungeon runs and haven't died once. Haven't even come close to dying. Like, some of the dungeons have gimmicks where it's like, oh, the only items you pick up are scrolls in this one. But it doesn't matter because you can just fist fight all the enemies anyways. Like, the enemies are so weak, you can just beat them with your fists. Like, I don't get the point of this game. Yeah, Torneko The Last Hope sucks. It's the worst mystery dungeon game. I'd actually put it below Lily's Well, I think. That game at least had like some crazy interesting bits to it. Hybrid Front is going to be a tough one to place, I say, as I immediately drag it to the middle of B tier. What's my opinion on modern Tomb Raider? It sucks. Man, talk about your games that have, like, nothing that was good about classic Tomb Raider. Like, as much as I said that Tomb Raider 2 is lacking a lot of the good stuff from the other good Tomb Raider games, like, you know, deadly traps, environmental puzzles, like, very sprawling, kind of puzzle box style level design. The new Tomb Raider games don't even attempt anything like that. They're just, like, modern cinematic corridor slop. Like, fuck those games. Don't even care to pay attention to them. And do I like mystery dungeon games? Yes, I do. I like them a lot. In fact, if I had played more of the new Sheeran game, the Serpent Coil Isle, that would probably go on this list in A tier, but I feel like I didn't play enough of it to justify putting it on this list. What was I doing? Oh yeah, the Hybrid Front. I liked this game a lot. It's just so long. Like, I kind of had the same problem. Like, actually, Three Houses, I kind of had this problem where it's like, I like this game. I like it a lot, but I don't think I like it enough to want to play it for like 300 hours, which is what the game seems to expect from you. Like, I kind of feel like I was done with Three Houses after, like, quite a while, actually. I feel like I got like 100 hours into Three Houses before I started to really get tired of it. And it's kind of the same thing with the Hybrid Front. This is like, I mean, I don't know how long it is. I think we got through like a third of the game, and it took us like 40, 50 hours. I would like this game a lot more if it were like 40 or 50 hours long. I kind of wish it was like over at the point that we got to. I felt like I had my fill. I get this game. I think it's super interesting though. This was like a sci-fi, a fan-translated sci-fi strategy, hex-based strategy game from Sega on the Genesis, with a fantastic soundtrack, one of the best soundtracks of the year. Probably like my number 3 soundtrack behind Xenoblade, Silksong, and then yeah, Hybrid Front at number 3 for soundtracks. I think I'll put it at the top of B. And I still want to go back to this. I still want to go back and play some more the Hybrid Front. It felt like it started to get repetitive after like 50, 60 hours. Like, I really wanted them to add something more to the game. Like, there's still a whole mechanic of the game where you've got like ground units and air units, and there's apparently ship units too. We have not yet seen ship units at the point of the game I've got to. Like, I've been waiting for them to change things up, like add new units, add space combat, add something. But I've kind of got to the point where the game was just like the same thing over and over again. Interesting mechanics. Apparently based on a strategy series called Daisenryaku, or Advanced Tactics, which is a Japanese series of like military war games. And then Sega took the mechanics from those games and made like a sci-fi game out of it. I think top of B is fair. It's a strategy game that, with really solid mechanics, kind of middling map design that wore out its welcome a bit too soon. Like, it's a good game, and it's not good enough to justify its length. Whereas, like, Three Houses was like a 300-hour game that I got tired of after 100 hours. This is like an 80-hour game that I got tired of after like 50 hours. This was the most played game of the year. The Hybrid Front. The most streams, maybe. Three Houses is probably my most played game by, like, hours played. Actually, if we count off-stream hours, probably Xenoblade Chronicles X is my most played game. I played a lot of Xenoblade Chronicles X post-game off-stream. Actually, I might have close to 200 hours in Xenoblade Chronicles X, or at least 160. Three Houses I didn't play off-stream at all. Oh yeah, Kaze and the Wild Masks. I think this is a solid B tier. This is a Donkey Kong Country-like indie game that like nails the mechanics of Donkey Kong Country. And it has like solid level design, but it's kind of runner-ish. Like, it has that like kind of modern design trope I see in a lot of modern indie games, where it's like the levels are optimized for speedrunners. So like the levels are kind of designed so that the easiest way to go through them is to just run forward and never stop. And that's like the easiest, most efficient way to clear most obstacles in most levels. Which makes the game like kind of almost a glorified runner. The masks are interesting. They're kind of like the riding animals in Donkey Kong Country. You have some interesting like gimmick levels based on these masks that I actually really liked. The collectibles, I might even put this in C tier. Like, I wanna give them a good rating because I like to help, you know, modern indie developers. I appreciate the classics a lot, but I'd like to appreciate more like the developers that are making games nowadays, and like, you know, games that are from like these days and not the ancient days. You know, developers that are like still alive and active. But honestly, this is probably a C tier game. I would put it above Moon Crystal and Vice Project Doom. It's a competent Donkey Kong Country clone that's missing a lot of the magic. DKR is the same way? Oh no. But done really well? Okay. Donkey Kong Returns has like different characters too, right? Because that could keep things interesting. Shotgun King is just I don't know. It's roguelite slop, not really my kind of game. I guess I did like it better than Lily's Well. I'll put it at the top of D. Once Upon a Katamari. It's another Katamari game. Which is good. I like Katamari. More than all of these games, actually. This is just like a retread of Katamari. It's like Katamari 1 again, with like a bunch of cool different level themes and a little bit more variety in level objectives, but it's basically just Katamari again. There's some good songs on the soundtrack. This was one of my top soundtracks of the year. Don't know what else I have to say about it. I was kind of disappointed that like Katamari hasn't advanced more over the years. like you still have like those loading times between zones. Like as your Katamari grows, it has to like reload the whole level as it scales the objects differently. Like I kind of thought they might have been able to do something with the technology since the PS2 days, so that we have like loading free Katamari levels, but alas, it's still basically the same game it was on PS2, just with more different level themes and more stuff to roll up. And with different music, which honestly is good enough for the top of B tier for me. I really like Katamari. Although I don't know if I like it as much as Dynamite Duke. Dynamite Duke was a really good time. This was a viewer's choice game for the arcade from like back in the late 80s, I think. This is a really interesting one where it's like target shooting, like almost a light gun style game where you're moving the cursor, but also with like some melee combat as well, and like moving your guy back and forth to dodge the bullets. Honestly, I might even put this in A tier. Yeah, the boss fights were super interesting in this one too. Again, it was almost like a fighting game, the way you had to, like Punch-Out style, where you had to like duck and juke the enemy attacks and like counter-attack with your punch. You had like the big explosive dynamite punch that could kill a shit ton of stuff. I really liked Dynamite Duke. Yeah, I think Dynamite Duke goes in A tier, actually. Sonic and Shadow, top of B tier. Not quite A tier, but yeah, Sonic and Shadow Generations was a very solid refinement of the mechanics from Sonic Generations. And the new stuff they added with Shadow, like the new Shadow abilities, were really cool. Fantastic soundtrack, one of the best soundtracks of the year. Actually, I'd probably put the soundtrack of this ahead of Katamari. For soundtracks, it's like Xenoblade Chronicles X #1 soundtrack. Probably Sonic and Shadow #2, actually. Sonic and Shadow #2 on best soundtrack. Probably Lies of P #3. No. Actually, no, Silk Song #2. Yeah, Silk Song #2 soundtrack, then Sonic and Shadow, then Lies of P, then Hybrid Front. Actually, Hybrid Front over Lies of P. Hybrid Front, then Lies of P, then Katamari, then Absalom. No, then Three Houses, then Absalom. Those are my favorite soundtracks of the year. Oh, and Pappas and Celine. Pappas and Celine gets a soundtrack shout out as well. I think that's it. I don't care to figure out and list all of those again, but those were my top soundtracks of the year. Xanadu has great music, but there's not enough of it. If there was like a whole game's worth of the Xanadu soundtrack, it would probably make my top 10 soundtracks. But like, it's just like 3 themes, and like they're brilliant. Like those 3 musical themes are enough to carry the game. You know what's weird? That game has like 3 main musical themes. There's like the main overworld theme. There's the combat theme where it's like and then there's like 5 different boss themes. Like every boss in this game has its own musical theme. There are like more boss themes than like music in the rest of the game combined, which is totally bizarre. Actually, I said there were 3 themes. I think it's just the 2, actually. Yeah, just the 2. Like, done. Yeah, the overworld and combat. That's about it. Oh, and Tropical Freeze has different characters, but they're not well balanced. I still want to play Tropical Freeze. Extra cheer for Newtopia. If I put Newtopia on this list, it would be in C tier. At around the Project Vice level. I think I would put Newtopia between Vice, Project Doom, and Kaze and the Wild Masks. I do like Newtopia better than Vice Project Doom. Oh yeah, I forgot about the title song. Yeah, there's the title song too. There is also SMT5 was this year, but I played like 4 hours of that game. That's like nothing. 4 hours of an SMT game is not enough to rank an SMT game. Like, I only rank games if I've played, like, a significant proportion of them. Like, enough to form a solid opinion that I don't think will change if I play more of it. With the exception of Trails in the Sky SC. Trails in the Sky SC has a strong probability that I'll change it once I see the ending. We're, like, 95% of the way through that game. But there's a good chance that that my estimation of it will go up once I see the ending. Oh, SMT5 was a viewer's choice game. I never planned on doing like a full playthrough of SMT5. It was just like something that came up in viewer's choice under the old format where people just nominate games and I just play them. Like there was the old viewer's choice format where like people nominate the games and I just play them in basically the order they're nominated for 1 or 2 hours each, depending on how many points people spend. So I played like 4 hours of SMT5 under those conditions, and like it was fine. Although to be honest, the SMT game I'm the most interested in is probably Nocturne. I'll probably play Nocturne on PS2 before I play any other SMT games. Or actually that, or actually SMT1 is quite interesting to me too. If I play an SMT game, it's probably going to be 1 or Nocturne. One of those two. How about Digital Devil Saga? That's another one that I played for viewer's choice. It was fine. I didn't love it. Is it true that I fear the difficulty? I fear the tedium. I don't know. Those games are like really grindy, aren't they? SMT games. Like that can be fun sometimes, but not if you're losing like 2 hours of dungeon progress when you game over. I think it's great, but it doesn't completely offset all the dumb bloat. Yeah. We'll see. And actually, we gotta see like right away. We're like done the tier list. Oh yeah, I was gonna do something else if we had the time, and we really don't have the time. But I'm gonna do it anyways. Okay, lightning round. I played a bunch of old games this year too. These are all the new games that I played this year. Games that I like played for the first time. I also replayed some old games, some old classics, some old favorites, and I was gonna slot these onto the list as well. Actually, before that, let's download. Actually, I'm gonna. Oh, give me a second. I'm gonna hide this just in case I like reveal something on my hard drive. Okay. Just gonna save this image. I'll share it on the Discord afterwards. Yeah, that seems solid. This is a solid tier list. I will share that image on the Discord once we're done, and then we'll do a lightning round where I rank all of the games that I played. Oh yeah, I guess I'll go through the list first. Okay, so in S tier, from the top down, we got Silksong, Xanadu, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, Xenoblade Chronicles X. In S tier, A tier, Lies of P, Marvel Cosmic Invasion, Ape Escape 3, Pampus and Celine for MSX, Absalom, Fire Emblem Three Houses, Ni no Kuni 2, Trails in the Sky, FC, Pipples for MSX, Illusion of Gaia, Rakugaki Showtime, and Dynamite Duke. In A tier. B tier, we got Sonic and Shadow Generations, Once Upon a Katamari, The Hybrid Front, Trails in the Sky SC, Demon Bluff, and Grand Stream Saga. That's B tier. C tier is Kaze and the Wild Masks, Vice Project Doom, Moon Crystal, Magical Quest starring Mickey Mouse, and Tomb Raider 2. Tempted to put Tomb Raider 2 above Magical Quest, but it's fine the way it is. Then D tier, we got Shotgun King, Lily's Well, Torneko The Last Hope, Maze of Gallius, and Jung Rhythm. Okay, now we're going to rank some other games that I replayed this year. Sunsoft Batman for NES goes into A tier. This is like, if these are like mediocre NES platformers, this is like the best NES 2D platformer. I think I put Batman between Three Houses and Absalom. I think that's where that lives. I like Tomb Raider 2 more than Shotgun King? Yes. Environmental Station Alpha. This one goes quite high. This one goes quite high. Do I like it better than Cosmic Invasion? I'm gonna tentatively put it above Cosmic Invasion. I don't think I put it above Lies of P. I did like Environmental Station a lot, and actually I appreciate it a lot more after our recent replay, where I actually 100%ed the game. I think Cosmic Invasion has a chance to go higher as I play more of that, but for now I think that's a good place for ESA. Final Fantasy Tactics goes into S tier. Below Xanadu. Yeah, Final Fantasy Tactics between Xanadu and Mario plus Rabbids. I also got Ivalice Chronicles here. I'll put that at basically the same spot. Below it, just to get it on the record that the original PS1 version is better than the Ivalice Chronicles version. We replayed the Simpsons arcade game, which I think goes at the top of C. It's fun, but not that interesting. X-Men goes in the same spot and goes a little bit higher for having a better soundtrack. Castlevania 3 goes near... definitely in D tier. Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse definitely goes in D tier. I'll put it above... I'll put it at the top of D tier. I'll be charitable and say it goes at the top of D tier. Yes, these are games that I replayed this year. Games that I have played before, but played again this year. Also, my last replay of Dracula's Curse solidifies for me that I do not like Castlevania 3. I have tried multiple times to get into this game, thinking that, if I just learned it a bit better, if I practice and get good, I'll learn to appreciate Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse. I don't like this game. I don't like it at all. I think it's drastically inferior to the first one. Crappy level design, shitty... inconsistent blocks where sometimes you go through them and sometimes you hit your head on them and die. Stupid jumps, bad checkpoints, very uneven difficulty curve, and level design where it's like stuff is either trivially easy or impossible depending on whether you have the right sub-weapon. The fucking Alucard route is like some of the worst shit on the NES. Yeah, fuck Dracula's Curse. Kingsfield 4 go... Ooh. Oh, man. This is where it gets really difficult. Kingsfield 4 solidified itself as like one of my favorite games of all time. It's an S tier for sure. It's like I have to choose which of my children I'm gonna shoot. Which one of my children gets the bullet? Is it Final Fantasy Tactics or Xanadu? It's not gonna be Silksong. Silksong's my baby love child. I'm not going to shoot Silksong. Okay, turns out I'm going to shoot Kingsfield. Yeah, I still like FFT better than Kingsfield. What was my take on Ivalice Chronicles? It's Final Fantasy Tactics. I don't like it as much as the original. I prefer the original PS1 version with the reduced job unlock requirements and reduced JP costs and no voice acting, and yeah, I just like the PS1 version better. The VA's fine. The VA has grown on me. I like the VA quite a bit, but I just don't like VA in general in RPGs. I'd rather read my RPGs than listen to them. Rockman 4 minus Infinity goes into low A tier, I think. It's a bit jank, but it's wildly creative and super, super impressive and like really fun and blows your mind in a few places. I think it's a bit too jank to go above Pipples. Pipples is like a solid video game. I won't do it the dishonor of putting it below minus Infinity. Honestly, I think minus Infinity goes at the bottom of A tier. This being a ROM hack. Famous ROM hack of Rockman 4. If you guys haven't tried Rockman 4 minus Infinity, I strongly recommend it. It is insanely creative. Any gameplay balance changes beside the jobs? Well, there's a whole new difficulty setting. There's Tactician difficulty, which I also don't really like. I would recommend playing the game on normal difficulty. But there's Tactician, if you want it. Other than that, I don't think the gameplay has changed at all. The UI is worse. The UI is worse, and I don't like the widescreen presentation. I think the game is, like, just formatted better for 4.3. It's like a lot of tiny little things. It's not like Ivalice is like dramatically worse or anything. It's just like a lot of little things. I think the original is just like a cleaner, neater experience. Better UI, better like just formatting and like placement. Just like the visual styling is better on the PS1. Super Tempo goes in a probably pretty high. I don't know. This game's got a lot of jank to it. This game does have some shitty parts. It's also like an insane trip to play through. I think I put it above Absalom, but nah, yeah, above Absalom, but below Pampas and Celine. And then Donkey Kong Country 2 also goes in A tier. I think I put it... I'll put it above Pampas and Celine, but below Ape Escape 3. There, and that's the full tier list of all the games I played, new and old, in 2025. It's a good year. Look at that A tier. Look at that fat-ass A tier. It's like going off the side of the screen here. Or A tier off the side of the screen. Crazy. Yeah, good year for video games. I didn't really describe like each tier and what it means, but basically I like any game that's in C tier and above. Like C tier games are all good time games. I guess other than Tomb Raider 2. Maybe Tomb Raider 2 belongs in D. I mostly did not have a good time with Tomb Raider 2. Honestly, even some of D tier. Honestly, Shotgun King above Dracula's Curse. I mostly kind of enjoyed Shotgun King. Shotgun King was fine. It's kind of weird because there's like the ranking is kind of a combination of like, did I have a good time and how much do I appreciate the design of the game? Like how much do I acknowledge it as a quality work of art? So like Tomb Raider 2 I didn't really have a ton of fun with, but like I can appreciate the design of it a little bit. It's just kind of my expectations that dragged things down a lot for me with this game, but like objectively, I kind of appreciate it as a C tier game. Even if I don't actually want to play it. Like, I wanted an A tier. I wanted an S tier game out of Tomb Raider 2, but instead they gave me C tier, and that made me unhappy. Yeah, C tier is like solid, but like nothing I'm like chomping at the bit to go back to. B is where you get into your like, yeah, I'm gonna sink a lot of hours into this, or I'm gonna like replay a bunch of this. This is like, okay, this was a good time, and I gotta get me some more of this. These are games that like I really want to sink my teeth into and spend some quality time with, which I did with all these games. I don't think there's any of these games I spent less than like 30 hours with. I guess Sonic and Shadow didn't take that long. I think I spent like 20-ish hours with Sonic and Shadow. A tier is just like primo shit. This is where things get like really, really good. These are games that I just like, yeah, just love. Just had a fantastic time with. Just hit me in all the right ways and give me all the things I want out of a video game. Gives you like fantastic stuff that you just don't get in the lower tiers. Like this is like all the good stuff, like all the good times of a B tier game with like something extra. Like almost all these games give me something like crazy that I wasn't expecting. Like there is something wild and crazy that I never would have expected out of each and every one of these games. Every one of these games is like totally unique in some way. This is Dynamite Duke, an arcade game that I played in MAME. And then S tier is like your all-timers. S tier is like probably breaking into like my top 50 games of all time. Each of these is probably somewhere in like my top 40 or top 50 games of all time. Anyways, I said we were going to try to wrap that up in less than 2 hours, and instead we took 2.5. So here's what we're going to do. I am told that we have a lot of Trails in the Sky SC ahead of us. We're on the final chapter, near the beginning of the final dungeon, but I am told that that final dungeon is extremely long. We might be in for a long-ass stream ahead of us. Possibly more than 12 hours, and YouTube does shitty things to your VODs if you stream for more than 12 hours. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the stream right now just to split the VOD on YouTube. Like I'm going to turn the stream off, and then that's going to separate the YouTube recording into a different video, and then I'm gonna come back online right away. We'll take like a 5-minute break. I'll get some coffee, get another coffee, get another scotch, and come back in like 5 minutes. We're gonna go offline for like 5 minutes, and then we're gonna come back and play some Trails in the Sky SC to completion. So yeah, I'm going offline, and we'll come right back. Don't go anywhere unless you want to or have stuff to do, in which case, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in to my year-end 2025 wrap-up. And yeah, we'll kick off 2026 for real with some Trails in the